Welcome back to another unsolicited and uneducated football analysis by your friend David Valentin. This time, we're going to be talking about the situation with Orlando City's playoff hopes. Orlando City has lost the last two games, 3-0 against Atlanta in Atlanta, and 4-2 in Orlando. Orlando City ending the game with 9 players on the pitch, 2 red cards, one to Nani and one to Andres Perea. Orlando City so far this season has been staying on top of the table, top 3 places, has been in second place for ages. At the time that I'm recording this is Wednesday, the 16th of September. The table looks as follows. First place, New England Revolution with 55 points. Second place, Nashville with 41. Third place, Orlando City with 38. New York City, fourth with 35. DC United, fifth with 34. Montreal, sixth with 34. Seventh, Atlanta United with 33. And out of playoff contention, but still dangerous enough to knock somebody out. And claim that spot. Inter Miami with 32 points in 8th place. Philadelphia with in 9th place with 32 points. And Columbus 10th with 30 points. New York Red Bulls, Chicago, Cincinnati, Toronto with 23 points for Red Bulls in Chicago, 20 points for Cincinnati, and 15 for Toronto. I think that these teams in 11th to 14th place, their season is pretty much over. So with that said, Orlando City, obviously, all the fans and everybody has the hand hovering over the panic button. If Orlando City fails to win the next 2 games, it will find itself out of playoffs contention by the 25th of September of this month. And it will be a disastrous situation for the club, as they basically, like I said, have managed to stay above the red line this whole time. There's a saying where between MLS fans that says it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And unfortunately for Orlando City, it may finish in a disaster. So this is what's going on. Orlando City, for ages, during the old administration, suffered from lack of funds. Money was always an issue. The squads were basically built on money, budget, not necessarily talent, and I felt that some of these teams were disastrously bad, and some teams just had the talent to get us there, but not to lift silverware. And last year, we managed to make playoffs on a shorter version of the season. But as you can see, we went to the playoffs and it was a complete disaster. It was just like a total different team, team that was not up to the occasion. This year we have that much better, but discipline problems still happen where we lose our cool when we're losing. We end up going down a man. We end up surrendering goals. We're just basically all over the place. And I quite honestly just don't like that aspect of the team. And I think it's time for something new. It's time for to clean house. The new administration has said that they want to build a championship team, and that means just bringing the best players money can buy. That's what billionaire club owners in MLS do. They just throw money at the problem, and it sort of fixes itself. Right now, we have 11 players whose contracts expire this year. Obviously, Chris Mueller, as we know, already has a destination. The other 10 players we don't know. But I feel that it's time to say, hey, if you're not contributing, if you're not scoring, if you're not defending, if you're not doing this, you're not doing that, if you're not up to par to be a competitive player in any team in MLS, then you don't have a place here. And I just think as a fan, I'm just tired of losing and tired of mediocrity. And I'm tired of just basically ending in this same spot. So maybe it's the PTSD of being an Orlando City fan. But right now, I just want to win, and I'm just really angry at the club at the moment for allowing it to get to this. Orlando City has 30 points left on the table. That basically translates to 9 points in September, 18 points in October, 3 points in November. That is last 10 games of the season. alongside Orlando City with 10 games is Atlanta, DC, Montreal, and with 27 points left to be claimed, Columbus and New England, and Nashville and New York City, Miami, and Philadelphia have 33 points on the table. So right now, disastrous situation for Orlando City is to get 10 points or less. Actually, less than 10 points. Less than 10 points means no playoffs. 10 points, we still can make playoffs if we have help from other teams. 15 points, which is half the points, guarantees us a playoff spot. 50 points traditionally has been the watermark for playoff bound teams. 50 points. You get 50 points, you're pretty much guaranteed a spot in the postseason. I feel that some teams, like I said, I name Miami, I name Columbus, and Philadelphia as teams that are in contention to knock somebody out of the playoffs. Let's try not to be us. We still have some cushion. We're in third place. But if we lose the next two games, we lose Philadelphia away and we lose New England away, that means that by the 25th of this month of September, we'll be out of contention. Then we'll find ourselves fighting, trying to get back into the picture. And if we continue to play like we are right now, my friends, it's back to the same old song that we know. And of course, we're gonna be ridiculed. You know, everybody's gonna say, "Oh, we knew it. This team was just a paper tiger, etc., etc." And it just, it's just basically a snowball that right now we need to stop before it becomes a gigantic problem. Out of the teams that are in playoffs or trying to get into the playoffs, DC, Montreal, Miami, Philadelphia have games against Western teams that basically we're hoping that, as an Orlando City fan, I hope that these Western teams take points away from these guys and slow their roll. To be honest with you, if Miami, Philadelphia, or Columbus start dropping points, then it will keep the status quo of keeping the teams that are above the line. Settle for at least until the middle of October, and by that point, safe away from elimination. Right now, if we continue to be this way, I don't think that we're gonna be in the top 4 positions, top 5 positions, I should say, because those are the ones that are guaranteed a home game, playoff game. I think. Be honest with you, if Orlando City continues like this and manages to make playoffs, we're probably looking at 7th place. Orlando City makes some gambles. Alexander Pato was supposed to be a player that was going to score goals and was gonna be DK substitute. Unfortunately, that did not happen. He got hurt the first game of the season. There's 10 games left, so if this is the time for him to come back, it's now. It's now, Pato, because unfortunately, the situation with him is that we don't know if he's going to come back. At this point, the postseason is not a guarantee. So he has to come now, and he has to score. Otherwise, it's one of probably the greatest busts in MLS history. Daryl Dike has been playing nonstop for over a year. He did well in England, did well with them with the national team, but he has not been the same player. He looks exhausted. He was hurt. He needs to start contributing. He has been a no-show for most of the games. Same with a player that was a key factor in a lot of the seasons, and that was Chris Mueller. In retrospect, we kept him because we felt that he was going to help us out. He has been a no-show. In retrospect, of course, hindsight's 2020. We should have gone a nominal fee for him, sent him on his way to Scotland, where his mind is. The kid just doesn't look like, he's here. And I don't know what it is, but he hasn't been himself. He's just making too many mistakes. And basically, we can't afford to have players that just go and run for 90 minutes. We need people that are going to contribute in the attack, contribute defensively, that are going to, turn the tide in our favor. Unfortunately, we are not seeing that. And, as of right now, we're going to Philadelphia. Philadelphia, like I said, is the game. We have to win. This is where we're playing for our season this Sunday, September 19th at 4 p.m. in Philadelphia. If we tie, it's not so bad. But if we lose, it's over. I'm sorry, it is. If you cannot defeat Philadelphia, a team that is below the red line, I just don't see you defeating New England. I just don't see you defeating Nashville. It's that simple. Nashville, has been the silent killer. They built wisely. They came without fanfare into the league, and in year two, they are once again making playoffs. They're in a comfortable position, and it just makes me angry as an Orlando City fan because we have put up with bad decisions, stuff that has been chronicled by me in this vlog and in social media. And if you're an Orlando City fan, I don't need to rehash that. We suffer from bad business decisions. And to be quite honest, I just don't have time for next year. I don't have time for the Wilf money. I want to win now. I want to win now. If the Orlando City wants to retain me as a season ticket holder, they have to win. If we have another disastrous, if we don't make playoffs this year, it's gonna dampen my mood next year. And if next year same situation happens, guess what, Orlando City, you're gonna lose me as a season ticket holder because I don't have money to fund a disaster year after year. And I'm quite honestly tired and embarrassed to be putting this much effort into an organization that it's just okay, just making it once every few years into the playoffs. We can't be like that. So that will close September. October, we'll have us October 2nd at home against DC. Our game that is winnable. We have to win that game. And on the 16th, away at Cincinnati, a game, my friends, that has to be a win. It has to be a win. We don't win against Cincinnati, we're not going to the playoffs. That's it. We're not going to the playoffs. Then we have Montreal at home. We have to defeat them no matter what. Then we're going to have New England again. Then we're going to have Columbus away. We have to win that game. We have to win against Nashville at home on the 31st and go to Montreal, hopefully comfortably in a playoff position. If we have to wait till last day to go and win to make playoffs, I just don't think it's going to happen. This team has proven time and time again that when the big occasions happen, they disappear. They run for the hills. And I'm going to tell you one more thing. New England is a team that last year we didn't play until the playoffs, and it sort of was a disastrous condition. We had already paid dearly for our victory over New York City with 2 red cards, and then things don't go our way. We go down a man. Then we have the opportunity to tie it from the penalty spot, and we just completely crapped the bed. It was just a bad situation. We haven't seen these two teams play each other, so we just don't know how they match. Orlando City, at the very least, needs to get at least a point from these two meetings. Otherwise, night. It's that simple, my friends. These are the teams like Atlanta, Miami. Their schedule is super chill right now. They're basically playing against teams at the bottom of the table, and they just gotta get the points. It's a reality. Again, we have to at least collect 15 points, or it's see you next year. It's that simple. And right now, my friends, I just don't see us going into the playoffs as a contender. I see us going to the playoffs, crapping the bed like we did last year. If we are not hosting, my friends, they're going to dispatch us quick. We just don't have the personnel to pull this off. So in retrospect, I want to make playoffs just to save face. I want to make playoffs just to say, we made it back-to-back, great. And then just pray and hope that the Will family is watching this video, that they're trying to create some magic, and that next year they're going to give us a team that we can actually root for and that's going to be full of talent. All our players are super nice people. I really like every single one of them personally, but the reality is that football games are not won because people are nice, people are cool, and because we follow them on social media. I don't care. I don't care who it is. We just gotta win games, and that's simply the message of this whole thing. So hopefully, if we have, like I said, Philadelphia, Columbus, and Miami getting ties among themselves or beating each other up. And one of the things that is going to help Orlando City is if New England, Nashville, and NY City and New York City start beating up the teams below us, then we may have a chance to make it. But look at what has happened. all this season, masters of our own destiny, and now we're begging for favors. That's football, cruel and unpredictable. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this information was beneficial to you and entertaining. Until next video, go City.